I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about pricing or underpricing yourself. Like, when you're selling t-shirts, especially when you're new, trying to figure out what price you should be charging. So I posted a video a few days ago about me undercharging for a job. So I'm going to kind of explain that. And I had a person that asked a question, and I'm going to read their question, and then I'm going to jump into the video, and I'm also going to give you a very helpful tip. So make sure you stay tuned in until the end of this video, because that tip is something that's really going to help you, especially if you're just getting started or if you feel like you're not making money with the t-shirt business. Okay, so I had Kawanda who left me a comment under the video. She said, "Hello, Sin. The shirts turned out beautiful. It did look like a lot of work that you did on these shirts. Questions. What would you do differently in the future to make sure you're not undercharging?" I'm just curious, because that was a lot of shirts you did. Great job and video. Okay, so if you want to, you can go on here, because I did respond back to her. You can go on here and read the response to the comment, but I'm going to just kind of get into it a little bit. As far as that video, some of y'all may be new to my channel. I used to do DTF. I used to do DTF back 2-3 years ago. I had 2 DTF printers. I used to sell DTF transfers, and when I had an issue with my DTF transfer, that was something that really changed my business a lot. And I'm probably going to do a video on that soon. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the pricing and underpricing. So because I had my own DTF printer at that time, and I had companies sending me ink, sending me transfers, sending me powder, the only thing that I had to, I guess, pay for was the t-shirts that I was printing on and the electricity that was used when I printed the shirts or printed the transfers. So I was able to offer awesome prices, really awesome prices. So with that customer, that was their second year coming. It was for a 5K event, the Turkey Trot 5K event for our local Rotary Club. So when the guy came in the first year, I just gave him my price, like, the price that I could make enough money. I don't really remember what the price was, but it don't really matter in pertaining to this video, because my price may be different from your price. It depends on how much you want to make. It depends on how much experience you have. It depends on your area, like where you live. And it also depends on your customers, because you're going to have some customers that are always looking for the cheapest price. They don't care nothing about quality. They just want that cheapest price. And then when they wash the shirt and it peels off, because they want the cheapest price. And then you got some people who want something that's going to look nice, and something that's going to last. So, you have different customers like that. Okay, so I had the customer the previous year to when I filmed that video, because that video was actually from 2023. I'm gonna be putting all kind of videos out. Some of them may be older, so if I'm saying like this is my new equipment, and y'all like, she been had that equipment 10 years, y'all know I'm going through and finding some old videos. So when the guy came in and asked about the pricing, he wanted me to stick with the pricing, the previous year's pricing, because he was trying to be cheap. At the time, like, when you're in the t-shirt business and that's your bread and butter, that's your only source of income, you want to have, I'm not going to say everybody, but I like to have recurring orders. Like, if I know it's an event that comes every year, that's money that's guaranteed. If you have a job, if you have your 9 to 5, that you get paid every 2 weeks, or you get paid once a month. On that date, you're going to make about whatever amount of money, So I like jobs like this. So when I had that customer to come in the first year, and they were satisfied and everything with their shirts, and then he came back, I really did not want to lose that customer. So I just kind of stuck with the price that I had gave in the previous year, although I didn't really want to do it. And that's another thing. Do not lowball yourself. Do not undercharge yourself. Do not I don't, do not, well, I'm just going to say know your worth. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tongue tied and can't think of what I want to say, but know your worth and how much your work is worth and your time is worth, because people, these customers don't really care. A lot of them will come in last minute and they don't care that you got to stay till midnight to have their big order shirts done for the next day. You know, they don't care about that. They just want the shirt. And then if you try to charge them, and I'm going off on a whole different thing. And then if you try to charge them a rush fee, you know, a lot of them don't want to do that. Sometimes they will. But anyway, let me get back on track. So when he came in, he was, I guess, had a budget from the previous year. And he was trying to stay within that budget. So that was why I kind of went with that price, because I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go with that price. But at that time, my DTF printer was working, and like I said earlier, I was getting free supplies for my DTF printer. The only thing that was coming out of pocket was the T-shirts and the electric, and that, you know, it's not much electric required just to do the DTF printing. Okay, so I kept that pricing, and then he came back a few months later when it was time to order. I no longer had a working DTF printer. My printer had just broke like a few weeks or maybe that month before, and it really messed me up. And then I had the person that I had purchased the DTF printer from, they had told me that they was gonna let me use a DTF printer that they had, but it didn't end up that way. And it kind of messed me up because I didn't ask to use the DTF printer. They offered for me to use the DTF printer. And I actually was going to go there and just print everything out. I just needed that order done in the most efficient way that I could get it done. So what I ended up having to do, I hit my homie Jesus up at bestdtfusa.com. He did the transfers. He shipped them overnight. Man, and I'm telling you, he got them 200 odd transfers done quickly and shipped them to me. And I know I'm always talking about Jesus, but he really good at what he do. He gets you your stuff quick. I have never had any issues with anything, you know, coming from him. So that's why I'm always talking about him like that. So I ordered the transfers, and like DTF transfers, I'm ordering 200 of them now. So y'all can only imagine, if y'all have ever ordered DTF transfers, y'all can only imagine how much I'm paying for transfers. Although, well, I'm not even gonna talk about that, but y'all know how much DTF transfers cost. If you don't, you can go to a website and look it up, or go to Etsy and look it up. Okay, so when I ordered the DTF transfers, you know, I had not figured that in when I originally quoted them the shirts, the shirt price, or the price for the shirt order. I can't get it right, but so I had planned to make a certain amount of money after my calculations of how much materials I was using and this and that, and that price just did not. It just wasn't doing it. It just wasn't. I didn't make a lot off of that, you know. So that was something that I learned. I'm going to have to do better with that. That's like the first time that I had something like that happen. You know, with all these years, I have been in business in a physical building since 2009 doing T-shirts. And I've been doing T-shirts since around 2007, 2008. So, when, you know, and then that's the other thing too. Like, if I promised a price when the customer come back, I did not want to have to say, you know what, I had a DTF printer, I had my own, and I have to outsource. I don't like to let my customers know when I have to outsource. And that's the great thing about, you know, Best DTF USA, because they get you your stuff quick, and really it's kind of like I got my own DTF printer, and I'm not having to do the work, to be honest with you, with that, because it's like I can get the stuff so quick, you know. But I didn't want to have to come in and, you know, the customer already basically told me, you know, about the tight budget. I didn't want to have to say, you know what, I know I told you this price, but now it's going to be this price over here, you know, at the last minute. You know, if I would have told them, okay, this is what it is right now, but that price is subject to change or something like that, that would have been better. And I probably could have, you know, changed the price or whatever. So you know, that's pretty much how I messed up on that one and undercharged, way more than what I should have. And that's another lesson to be learned too, y'all. Like as far as pricing, whenever you're pricing, you don't want to price on the low end. You want to price on the high end. So even if whenever they come, it may end up being a little cheaper. Like, you know, okay, like if somebody come in here and they ask me how much are my shirts, I have a pricing sheet, which I sell on my website, TshirtChickTV.com, but I have my pricing sheet in there and I can kind of let them look at it, but it's got a lot of different options. So, okay, if I get one color, if I get this, if I get that, they can look on there and the price may vary depending on how many shirts they order. That's really something that helps me out when I have customers that come in. That way I don't have to ask them like, what do you want on the shirt? You know, they can see it right there. Although the price that they may be thinking may not be right, and I might have to explain it to them, but you know, that's something that they can see, you know. But as far as when you give a quote and, you know, for a specific job, you know, and they come in there and it's the same job that they talked to you about months ago, I just did not feel that it would be right of me. I just felt like that would be bad business. You know, I'm wanting them to come back. And then that's the other thing. When they came this year, I already had said I was going to have my prices, whether they come with me or not. Then that was going to be my prices, but they ended up not even doing the 5K run this year. But they do supposed to be doing some different event. I don't know. They haven't told me what it is or when it is yet, but they are not doing the 5K. So I don't know. It probably won't be until next year that I get to print for them again. Now it's tip time. It's time for the tip. Okay, so this is something that I feel will help you out a lot. Now, this is not my pricing that I'm about to tell y'all, but this is something that can help you out a lot. Okay, if you have the exact design, like that customer's design that I had, if I take that design and I go to Custom Ink, customink.com is where you can go to order. And a lot of people feel like your price should be based on that. You know, they'll order something, they feel like your price should be based on Custom Ink, but Custom Ink, compared to my quality of print, Custom Ink is low, you know, but if you want some cheap shirts, you can go there. So what I do sometimes when it's something I don't know about, say they ask me to print on a different piece of apparel that I've never printed on, so I will sometimes take it to Custom Ink and see how much they charge. And my price is different than they price, but I just kind of want to get an idea of how much people usually charge for this. And then I either add to my price or take away or whatever, you know, depending on how much you want to make. So that's my tip right there. You can go to Custom Ink to kind of get a ballpark range of what price you should be charging for certain things. And take into account also that depending on you, I know like with me, my thing over Custom Ink is, okay, if you want to get it that quick, you can't get it that quick from Custom Ink without paying extra. This is my price right here. This is my price right here. Custom Ink might be cheaper, but you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to get your stuff. And I can get it to you at the end of the week or in 2-3 days, however many days that I can actually promise it to them. You know, I always tell them that I'll have it done later than what I actually have it done. You know, that I just have always done that, and I try to get it done as soon as possible. Once they pay, I get it ordered and I get the shirts in, I'm not sitting there holding shirts. I'm trying to print them as soon as they come in. The only way I would have to hold them is if I'm backed up with orders, which, you know, sometimes that happens, but I always try to get it done before it's time. So hopefully this information was helpful to you, and I appreciate all of y'all watching. I will see you in the next episode, but until then, be blessed.